All right, folks, we're going to get into the last bit, and I teased this a little earlier. We were talking about possibilities for Willow's bone marrow donor here. So we know it's not Nina. And I've also floated out the possibility, well, if it's not Nina, could it be Liesel? I mean, Liesel would be a simple solution because she's obviously related. She's related to Nina, she's her aunt, and therefore would be related to Willow. So that would make sense. But there are a few more possibilities out there that have been floated around, and I'm gonna get to the first two before I get to the last one. And the last one I'm saving because I'm saving the best one for last because I'm loving this idea, and I hope it comes true. So the first one, which I'm really kind of dismiss this one. It's a story from GeneralHospitalBlog.com. Wiley is Willow's match, saves his mommy's life. Could be, but I mean, Wiley is still so young. I just don't see him being a possible donor because of how young he is. Now, I don't know. Maybe that could happen. Maybe kids have been able to donate bone marrow before for an adult. I'm not sure how that works. I'm not real well versed in medical, despite the fact that I watch a show called General Hospital every day. But yeah, that's kind of the lightest one there that I'm really kind of like, I'm not really feeling that one. The next one, and this comes from hat tip to Alina Adams at SoPub, the bone marrow donor everyone is ignoring. And she goes on to say that Jocelyn Jacks, because she received her kidney from Nell Benson. And as we know, Nell and Willow are fraternal twins. Therefore, you know, kind of the DNA and the blood and everything from Nell Benson is inside Jocelyn. I believe somewhere in this it does say that it's Alina Adams even notes that, hey, we'll ignore the pesky fact that those who've received a kidney transplant can't donate, but hey, it's a soap after all. And it could. And again, that would be nice and clean because Jocelyn loves Willow. She would do anything for her. So she might be able to be a bone marrow donor. And if they go that route, they're really going to have to play into, okay, this would be a huge risk for Jocelyn, health-wise, that could potentially, complications from something like this it could end her life if she were to go through with it. So then we're going to have a kind of push-pull thing where Jocelyn wants to do it, but she's scared. Willow doesn't want to receive bone marrow from her if it could possibly kill her. And then you have the family kind of in between, torn on this whole thing. So while it would make some sense, I suppose, I'm not a real big fan of that one. The one that I'm a huge fan of, and a hat tip to Curtis Harding from soapsknows.com. The headline is General Hospital's Willow just got bad news, and that may turn into a nightmare for all of Port Charles. The story says, we didn't exactly get a huge surprise on Thursday's episode of General Hospital, but finding out that Nina was not a donor match for Willow was devastating to both of them. Plus, it swiped Nina's chance to play hero and win over her daughter right out from under her, which is kind of what I alluded to earlier. Now, Michael and Willow are running out of time and options, judging by yesterday's preview testing. Wiley may be their next, and as far as they know, final option to find a donor before it's too late. But if Willow's mom isn't a match, what are the chances that her nephew will be? And if he's not, that's it. Time's probably up. If only she had a sibling out there. They would by far be her best bet. If only. Willow did have a sibling, but she's dead and gone. Or is she? We have a sinking feeling that General Hospital is setting us up for one killer reveal and her initials are NB. Who else could save Willow at this point but her own sister? And let's not pretend we haven't been waiting for this day to come since Nell first died. No villain has ever stayed dead in Port Charles. Why would Nell be any different? It was always more a matter of when than if she would return. And now, with her dear sister's life hanging in the balance, the when has all been but answered. The only question that remains is how she's still alive. Maybe Nina will get a mysterious phone call from someone who says they can save her daughter if she plays ball. Maybe Michael will be told that he has to decide between Willow and Wiley. In the end, if Nell does come back to save Willow's life, you can bet there will be a price to pay. And I love this idea. I love it because, first of all, I was a huge Nell Benson fan. I love her. I love good villains. I love good heels on TV shows. They're just so fun to root for and root against. And Chloe Lanier as Nell Benson was, just amazing. I cannot say enough good things about how great of an actress I think Chloe Lanier is. And the way she played Nell Benson was just absolute perfection. And you know, if Nell Benson were to come back from the dead, she's not coming back a kinder, gentler Nell Benson. Especially if she knows that she's the one that could save Willow's life. You know she would use that to her advantage. You know she would hang that over Michael's head. And you know she would tell Michael, Wiley or Willow, you're only going to have one after this is all done. Pick which one you want. If you want to keep Wiley from me, say bye-bye to Willow. And if you give me Wiley, I'll save Willow. So I'm really, really liking that possibility. Like, as soon as I read this from Curtis Harding, and again, hat tip to him. I don't know if he's heard something, if somebody's told him something about this, or if this is something that just came to his mind, so he put out a story on it. But, dude, I am loving this idea. Anything that would bring Nell Benson back, I think would be great for the show. So, but let me know what you think. Could it be Liesl? Could it be Jocelyn? Could it be Wiley? Or could Nell Benson come back from the dead and save her sister's life?